Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Grace and thanks so much for tuning in. I should really be saying good evening because the sun has gone down so much earlier. The clocks just went back, I guess, overnight, and so this is the first real day of like the autumn to winter season is really upon us. I've been doing some reflecting and thinking about this past month and going into November because, I mean, it goes without saying, it has truly flown by, at least in my brain, and I can't believe we're in November, especially since we get towards the end of November into December. I just feel like it's going to be even faster, and so I was just thinking of ways to like sit down, reflect, go over goals or just like intentions for the month, and I just thought I would share them with you in case you are in the middle of not really knowing like how to feel about this in-between season. I feel like November is a tricky time. So thinking about just this past month, I really felt like for me, I was feeling the pressure of celebrating Christmas so early. I don't know if anyone else felt that. I did not want to celebrate it. In fact, I was getting pretty frustrated in the month of October. I definitely had family members that were really eager to like skip Halloween and go on to Christmas. In my hometown, they started putting up the Christmas lights in our main park that they have every year, like pretty early in October. I think just the stores were releasing Christmas stuff even before Halloween was really here, and I just felt like this overall like push to keep moving forward and moving on and like skipping over things. I think that was kind of what kind of spurred this whole video in general, was just me thinking about how, and I don't want to get too in the weeds of all this, but like it's just so apparent to me now how our society is so willing to just like have instant gratification. And I'm sure we can all attest that to social media and just like the way that we live. I think when we're not receiving, or maybe it is so easy to receive that instant gratification, that when you're looking forward to something like Christmas or whatever, we kind of just allow ourselves to go ahead and decorate or go ahead and feel that gratification that we are wanting or craving instead of slowing down and being patient. For me, I just felt like a lot of people around me were already skipping, whereas I was like, no, I'm ready for Halloween. I want to celebrate it. I want to have fun. I want to embrace fall. It feels like everyone is trying to make time go by so much quicker, and I'm just craving for it to slow down. I'm craving living in the moment, embracing whatever holiday is next, embracing that time of year, and really allowing things to just like naturally come and the excitement to naturally come. I hope any of this makes sense. And if you are like me, then I'm gonna go over kind of some ways that I'm planning on embracing this time of year, romanticizing it, if you will, and to really just like be more present in it and to try to block out the noise that makes it feel like we just have to move on to the next big thing. So for me, I think my overarching goal or intention is to really embrace the slowness that nature, just the season itself naturally brings on us with the slower days. But in terms of ways to like really romanticize the season and embrace that slowness before Thanksgiving hits, I have really gone back and forth. Do I want to decorate for Christmas or not? And the answer is no. I am going to wait until either right before Thanksgiving, since we'll be out of town, or right after. And in between then, ways that I'm planning on romanticizing everything is I find myself slowing down when I take the time to like cook a new recipe or bake something from scratch. And I just find it so rewarding and so lovely, needless to say. And so that is something I'm definitely going to prioritize at least once a week. Now, I'm not saying that I'm gonna make everything from scratch or try a new recipe every single day, but one specific recipe a week I think will be really good for me, and time to just slow down and really be present in that. Towards the end of October I hosted a couple of like little like girls' nights or like little dinners here and there, and I found so much joy in it. And I took the time to like make a cute little menu, really plan it out, and to use like nice napkins and certain things like that, which is something I really enjoy. And so I think for me, I want to be intentional with that as well and try to plan at least like one thing this month with either some girlfriends or even just with like my mom or something, but be intentional when it comes to hosting it. Like take the time to think about the menu, take the time to think about like the activity or the dessert or the theme if I'm gonna have one. Like for example, I hosted kind of a girls' night for Halloween and it was really nice and really fun. And then we also did something recently, actually last night, where it was Nora Ephron night. And so I made a pasta dinner and we had like a movie night on my couch, which was so nice. And I just think that taking the time to like really make specific plans with people, even like a few weeks in advance, check everyone's schedules, but it's something to look forward to. It doesn't have to be a big ordeal, but just something to like ground you, make you more present. At least that's what happens for me. And I'm so thankful every time I do it. I love having like the labor of love behind making a meal for someone, making, a specific kind of cocktail that no one's had or anything along those lines. So I think that is something that I'm personally going to do. And since it's November, that's the perfect time to coordinate like a Friendsgiving or a fall themed night while things are still, in season and foods are in season. Circling back to the whole like social media thing and just how it feels like time is going so much faster, I think that has been such an overall topic on my mind, especially this past year. And I'm not trying to be like negative and depressing about it, but I really do feel like time is going by so fast. And I am so guilty of spending time on my phone and spending time scrolling. And while it's so exciting in the moment, I feel like I'm really paying for it after the fact. And like yesterday, for example, I wasn't on my phone hardly at all day just because we had so many things to do and we were having so much fun. And I could just feel a total difference in my mental state when I was going to sleep last night. And so I think for me, I'm really going to have the boundary of while these things can be good and can be used as tools and a way to connect with people, I think I'm really going to strictly just have social media on my laptop and keep it there as best to my abilities as I can. And it's so much easier said than done, but it doesn't mean that I can't check it. It just means that if I want to check it, I have to go get my laptop, which is in another room. And I really only use my laptop for work or for when I'm editing or, anything that is a task. And so if I want to use it, then that's where I have to go for it. The final thing that I'm going to do and try to incorporate more, I've already started this a little bit. I started it probably like within the last week or two. I'm going to be more intentional with it and really bring it into the month of November to build this habit. And that is to have a joy journal. And this was not my idea. I did see it somewhere, but the idea is to keep a joy journal and to reflect on your day each evening. And you think about the things that genuinely brought you joy that day. And it's different from a gratitude journal because I think in my head, when I would write down like a gratitude list, I would, say friends, family, and I would have specifics, but I wouldn't always think about that day. And when I'm kind of forced to just think about the day itself, there's some, like, I've noticed that there were days where I had so many things to write down. And then there were other days where I could tell I was way more active on social media because I couldn't really think of a lot of things to write down. I would think of like, well, I had a really good lunch. I had a really good dinner. What did I do in between? Oh yeah, I spent time on my phone. And I didn't like feeling that way. And I've noticed that when I think of this joy journal, I'm actually looking for things throughout the day, or I'm just like way more aware of it. For example, the other day I was out at the store and I heard like a little kid laughing with his parent or whoever they were with. And just like hearing that laughter as I was passing by, like it made me smile. And I remembered it and I wrote it down in my journal of just like hearing strangers laugh as I walk by. I think it's another way of like grounding yourself and being more present and taking in the world around you. I feel like whenever you do think about those things, you're kind of just naturally a little bit more positive, or you're maybe out of your way to be more kind to others. I've just found it to be really nice and helpful lately. So everyone, those are my reflections from just kind of this past month and how I want to go into November, what intentions I have and goals that I have. I hope that this inspired you. I hope everyone had a great Halloween, and I will see you in the next video.